In this episode, Deanna and I explore the majestic El Peñal in Guatape, kayak to a nearby island, and ride through the colorful town. We soak in the incredible views and explore deeper into Medellin's culture and history as we check out the famous Comuna 13. In the last episode, Deanna and I arrived to the vibrant city of Medellin. Medellin's moto culture was on another level. I had never ridden through a city where it seems there are more motos on the road than vehicles at any given moment. It felt a bit hectic, but everyone was used to it, so it was more like a organized chaos rather than a complete free-for-all. We booked an Airbnb in the Envigado area and just a few days later checked out the famous Provenza Strip, which is known for its nightlife and can also be quite dangerous if you're not careful. Deanna and I, however, had a great time. Unfortunately, I think being in some crowded clubs caused me to get pretty sick, and I came down with a high temperature fever just days later. That would last nearly a week before I'd recover. Luckily, I got through it and we decided to go explore more of the city. The first place we were recommended was the famous Comuna 13. This neighborhood was once considered one of the most dangerous places in Medellin. Today, it's one of Colombia's biggest symbols of resilience, art, and change. Comuna 13, or known as San Javier, is one of Medellin's 16 comunas built into the steep hillside west of the city. Around 160,000 people live there. The neighborhood grew as rural Colombians, displaced by decades of conflict, moved into Medellin looking for safety and opportunity. Many settlements formed on the hillside where infrastructure was limited. During the 1980s and the 1990s, Comuna 13 was heavily affected by Colombia's armed conflict, with influence from guerrilla groups, paramilitaries, gangs, and drug networks fighting for control. A major turning point was Operation Orion in 2002. The famous outdoor escalators opened in 2011. Yeah, literally escalators in the middle of this hillside community. Pretty crazy and never seen anything like it. They climbed the hillside in multiple sections, and they replaced a long, exhausting climb of hundreds of steps, connecting residents more easily to the rest of Medellin. Though the transformation wasn't just infrastructure, locals used graffiti, hip-hop, breakdancing, and street art to tell their stories and reclaim their neighborhood's identity. And today, it's one of Medellin's most visited areas with murals, performances, food stalls, and community tourism. Honestly, it felt pretty special to experience something with so much history, identity, culture, and resilience behind it, especially because during our time in Medellin, Deanna and I were actively watching the Netflix series Pablo Escobar, learning about the country's dark history, then walking the same streets we were just watching through the show. It made the series just that much more engaging and impactful, and if you haven't seen it yet, I highly recommend it. Another incredible attraction we checked out was taking the cable car all the way up to Parque RV. But this isn't just your typical tourist cable car. It's actually part of Medellin's public transport system. Instead of a long drive through winding mountain roads, you can hop on the metro, transfer through the city, then spend about 20 minutes soaring above the hills and into the forest. Building a cable car system that stretches this far into the mountains is an impressive engineering achievement, and the journey itself might be just as memorable as the destination. Parque RV is a huge nature reserve on the eastern mountains above Medellin, in the area of Santa Elena. The protected area covers approximately 1,700 hectares of forest and acts as a natural barrier between the city and the rural mountains. We didn't spend too much time here because the main park is actually quite small unless you do the guided hike through the trails. But there was a big storm moving in, so we attempted to rush back to Mula before they shut down the cable cars, and unfortunately, we only made it so far.
So the problem is we're stuck 2 stations away from where the bike is parked because the rain and the lightning. So they've shut down the cable cars, so we can't move. Can't move until the storm passes, so who knows how long that will be. So this is the Medellin River right after that downpour. It's completely flooded yet, but it's looking pretty intimidating right now.
All right, that's it.
No.
We're out of here. Leaving Medellin today, heading to Guatape. Bike is fully loaded once again. Mula, of course. That's why we call her Mula. It's gonna be a very quick but beautiful ride. I think like 2 hours. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing some new places in Colombia. Gonna stay there for about 4 nights and then probably return to Medellin.
So we were leaving Medellin for a little multi-day excursion to Guatape, another place we couldn't miss while exploring around Medellin. It seems to be an obligatory site for overlanders and especially for tourists staying in Medellin, as it's only a 2-hour day trip to see El Peñón de Guatape, a giant 200-meter tall rock that rises above the surrounding landscape.
You know where we are? You know where we are? Rio Negro. This is where Pablo Escobar was born.
The trip there was brief but beautiful, and I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that one of these tour buses, in fact the one in front of me right now, almost tried to kill me because he thought I was trying to prevent him from overtaking on the opposite lane around a blind corner. That's not what happened. I was just changing lane positions, but he took it the wrong way as me trying to prevent him from passing. And so the driver got very angry and very aggressive and was basically riding my ass and then overtook us just inches from the side of us. Seriously, these Colombian tour bus drivers really piss me off. It's as if they're paid more money the quicker they are, and there's probably some truth to that, but this creates an incredibly dangerous driving culture with these reckless and irresponsible drivers, and I just truly cannot stand them. Alright, enough venting. We're about to ride to Guatape.
Amigo, bueno. ¿Tú sabes cómo llegar a Cantares Azul? ¿Es arriba? ¿Por aquí? Ah, ok. Ah, es por aquí.
¿Habla Spanish?
Sí,
Sí.
un poco así.
¿Y tú eres de Costa Rica? ¿Y viene de Costa Rica en moto?
No, no, es de Canadá.
¿De Canadá viene?
Es donde yo comenzar
Comenzó
mi viaje.
Pero ¿se vino por tierra o por...?
Sí,
por barco?
solo por tierra, solo por tierra.
¿Desde Canadá se vino
Sí,
de tierra?
sí,
¿Sí?
sí. Solo yo, solo la conocí a ella en Costa Rica, cuando estaba viajando por Costa
Se la
Rica.
robó. Voy a llamar a la policía. Policía, aquí un francés se robó una costarricense. Ah,
No,
ya
es
lo
vara.
entendí.
Sí. Gracias, hermano.
We booked the perfect cabin with a view of El Peñol in the background and the islands in the front. It felt like the perfect accommodation to experience this region.
Ah, bueno. ¿En serio? I hope they give us a key for that.
There's the problem. Maybe that's the thing.
It's where they keep the toilet paper that we can't have.
Yeah.
Like, no, it's no para tú.
No.
No, there's a TV. It's muy lejos, though. Muy lejos.
We did it.
Okay, let's get the beautiful shot.
La Piedra del Peñol is a massive granite monolith rising about 220 meters or 720 feet above the surrounding landscape. And the surrounding landscape is a series of islands surrounded by a man-made reservoir created in the 1970s when the Peñol Guatape hydroelectric project flooded the original valley. Before the reservoir, there was an older town of El Peñol in the valley. Much of it was flooded and a new town was built nearby. The reservoir created a landscape of hundreds of islands and peninsulas, which is why the view from the rock almost looks like a tropical archipelago. The rock itself has a famous story. In the 1950s, locals reportedly wanted to climb it, and the first successful attempt took 5 days, using wooden boards and homemade equipment. And now today, it stands as a famous tourist attraction, hosting 700 stairs to the top. The ascent is actually quite quick. It took us around 20 minutes, which I forgot to take any footage of because I was too busy enjoying the moment. But from the top, the view really does live up to the hype. It's unlike any landscape I'd ever witnessed.
Okay, today's the day. We're gonna go climb the stairs of La Piedra del Peñal. 741 steps, an amazing view at the top. So yeah, we'll see what it looks like when we get up there.
Yeah.
There it is, there's the big rock, a bunch of stairs. We're gonna climb.
The descent, though, is a bit slow going as it takes the alternative path from the older staircase and is usually backed up by slower folks taking their time to get down. Overall, it was a 10 out of 10, totally worth it experience. Highly recommend. The next day, we arranged with a man to rent some kayaks so we could go explore the islands and the reservoir, a perfect way to tie the bow to experiencing Guatape from the sky and from within the water.
Rented some kayaks and we got them for 2 hours and we just found this little island and gonna have some snacks before returning, but yeah, pretty cool, pretty fun, really nice lake. What do you think?
It's a beautiful lake, very calm.
It's not tracking you because there we go.
It's a beautiful lake, very calm, very chill.
Very
It's
chill.
Perfect day, it's sunny. And yeah.
Yeah, our last day here. Then we're heading back to Medellin. So you look fine. Alright, Deanna is leaving me today again. She's leaving from the bus terminal in Medellin and where are you going?
Going to Cali.
She's going to Cali, Colombia via bus and then make her way down to Quito, Ecuador. And then maybe fly home from there, maybe keep going, who knows. But yeah, we had an amazing month and a half together in Colombia. And gonna miss you, obviously, but I'm sure we'll see each other sooner than later. She's a traveler after all. So yeah, good luck on everything.